Hello out there in YouTube land.
Welcome back to our channel.
Today we thought we would get a little bit more into the holiday spirit and talk about the traditions that Tabby and I do in this time of year that, deal with a variety of different things.
Variety of different things, but mainly a celebration of winter. Just the Yule season in general,
Yeah.
and what winter is.
All that pretty sparkly, beautiful, festive stuff. So, well,
So usually, when we're talking about my house, and I kind of have Dani doing this too. We start around December 5th with Krampusnacht. That's kind of the celebration of Krampus, and
if you don't know who Krampus is, he's this wonderful demonic figure that beats children with thrushes who are bad for the entire year because they don't deserve presents.
and basically we set out kind of the more traditional offering for him, which is a pair of your old shoes. So the idea is you set out your old shoes with his offering in it, and that's usually candy or some sort of sweet thing, baked good, whatever. And traditionally, you would have a new pair of shoes in the morning if you were good. If you're not good, you're put in his sack and you're beaten. You're taken to hell.
So it's a really good morality tale for a child to be good and not be bad.
Right, and it goes right up there with the Yule cat.
Mm-hmm.
So these are kind of the Icelandic, Viking,
Nordic
ideas. And Krampus was the opposite of Father Christmas or Santa Claus, or if we're talking the Viking pantheon, Baldur.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where the December season starts for us.
Yes, and, we have a lot of fun with it. So then, a few weeks go by, and then you finally have the winter solstice, which, in my mind, is like, visions of Jack Frost and light glistening on frozen bits of snow that looks like diamonds and things like that.
Yes.
So I like to try and, do some makeup looks that are, kind of frosty and just wintry and...
the blue, the icy appearance.
And some glitter, yes. Yes, Dani actually plays with some glitter once in a while, as much as that would be surprising to hear.
Around this season, we tend to break out a lot of the glitter.
We do.
And then Yule really for us is encompassed from about December 22nd to January 2nd. And that's just, I get out a lot of greenery. I get out a lot of kind of evergreen, pine.
I like to add, some bits of gold to it, because
Yes.
gold always, has this connection with greens and stuff for festiveness. And plus, I think, if I remember right, there's something to do with gold and the pine in terms of, the religious aspect of Yule, but I can't remember it right offhand.
I'm not entirely sure.
I'll have to look into that. If I can find it, then I'll link it down below or something.
There's the whole silver and gold.
Mm-hmm.
And I do a lot of silver and gold. I like to do kind of a celebration of what winter is to me, and that's reindeer and snowflakes, snowfall, ice.
Mm-hmm.
The aurora. I do a lot of colors, pertaining to the aurora in my makeup. And we don't really think about Yule as any one religion. It's just the celebration of the season.
And we kind of have the same feeling in that regards to the Christmas, with Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, because so many of the traditions of Christmas came from Yule and from the Celtic religions. So,
Right.
We put up trees, we put up all those things. And so for me, Christmas is about exchanging gifts, being kind to everyone as much as I possibly can, because, it's the end of the year. And,
Right.
It's kind of a hearkening to the season, because you're getting ready for renewal. So it's kind of a good idea to put out as much positive energy into the world as you can this time of year.
Right. Remember, what you put out does come back.
Yeah.
And it comes back, in many different folds.
So, for Christmas Eve, my family and I have one tradition that we've done for many, many years. And in the 1970s, there's a musical of Scrooge made, and it had Albert Finney in it. And it's one of the more unique musicals, I think, because, they added some elements of horror to it because they actually did, like, these masks that were really commonly found in the 1960s and 70s that of, like, ghouls and things, and they
Yeah.
included those in the movie. And then they have songs like I Hate People, which, like, just makes me kind of giddy and amused.
Reminds me of the Grinch.
Yes. So I think the lyrics are something like, I hate people, people are despicable creatures, loathe them, and explicable creatures, good for nothing, kickable creatures. So,
Little Sweeney Todd in there too.
yeah, so, if you've not seen the musical Scrooge, I highly recommend it. Another thing we do is try to make a point to ride around and look at the holiday lights and everything.
We do that too. And that's been a tradition since I was a kid. Mm-hmm. I was often very sick as a kid during Christmas, and they would bundle me up and put me in the car, and we would go look at lights. I was very into lights and Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So.
Yes. And then, like, another tradition that Tabby and I decided to do together, we had seen it online, and I believe it's from Norway or Finland. I can't remember which country.
It's one of the Nordic.
But it deals
countries.
with books, and since Tabby and I are huge readers, of course, this appealed to us greatly. And so what you do is, before Christmas Eve, and we usually do it before Yule, so we have it around we give each other one of our favorite books that we've ever read in our lives. So it's a book that means something, as well as you're offering something to someone else that is kind of a part of you because of that.
Right.
So the idea is that on, like, the tradition says Christmas Eve, but we do it kind of Yule Eve. You drink hot chocolate and you read the book that you were given.
Right.
And then later on, Tabby and I discuss the books after we finished reading them, so we kind of get that dual enjoyment about, finding out what the other person thought about the book, and, just the meaning behind the book and things like that. And last year, Tabby gave me Krampus by Brom. And it is, if you've not read it, it's a really amazing book. It's entertaining, but it's bringing new life to the figure of Krampus. And,
right.
For us, it kind of also has some extra meaning because it has Krampus in West Virginia.
It does, which I was shocked the first time I read that book, that it was based in West Virginia. But it was a book for me that made me laugh. There were elements of fear in it, and then there were elements that made me cry. And that's a good book for me.
It's a really beautiful one.
And Dani gave me the Darkangel Trilogy by Meredith Pierce. And really it was the Darkangel. And for me it was a different aspect. It was a different setting to read in. It's more your science fiction. And I love science fiction. But again, the main character, you get that element of, he's supposed to be this vampire, ghoulish person that takes women and essentially drains the life from them. But then you get to know him. And it's a very different background and take.
So I remember reading it the first time when I was about 12 years old, and it just stuck with me all those years. And when we came up with the idea to do this, I knew that was going to be a perfect book to share with Tabby, because she would really get a kick out of it.
You get a kick out of it, and, by now you probably have realized we kind of side with the monster.
Yes.
We have, an empathy with them at times. And I think both of these books really brought that out.
Yes. So, if you're looking for books to read that are kind of like, go Team Monster, those are two good ones to check out.
And if you guys have any traditions, please, just list them out. We'd be interested to hear that.
Absolutely.
Or if you have book suggestions, we're always interested in those.
Yes, because we always need more things to read. And then, of course, we do celebrate some New Year's, not as extensively as when we were younger.
No, I like to, I still do, like, the cabbage and the cabbage meal. But I stay home and watch the ball drop. Yeah. Sometimes.
If we can stay up to actually watch the ball drop. my family does the cabbage and pork and things
Yep.
too, which, if you aren't used to that type of tradition, cabbage and pork is supposed to be good luck for the new year.
Right.
My family, it came from like Poland and Serbia and that type of thing. But I think also Celtic peoples do
Right.
it and stuff, so it's kind of a relatively common known European tradition.
Yeah, just, my family is Scotch-Irish, with a little bit of Russian. So it comes from a variety of different places.
Yes.
So New Year's Eve and New Year, we kind of...
Merge together, kind of,
Yeah.
sort of, kind of.
And then I follow along. If anybody has heard of Twelfth Night, so the 12 days of Christmas were, Partridge in the Pear Tree. First day of Christmas is actually December 25th. And the 12th night of Christmas is January 6th. So I have Scottish deerhounds, and I've mentioned them before. Well, they like to lure course. It's just a really fun thing. So we attach a plastic bag to a pulley, and they get to chase it. So they get to go have fun. We drive to a friend's house who has deerhounds, and we kind of set up this whole day of just festive fun. Food, different. Everybody brings a different dish, and then we all have a nice meal that night, and just kind of celebrate the friendship of it on 12th night.
And then Tabby and I both celebrate Russian Christmas, so it's kind of like a 3-banger of getting presents.
It is. I'd say I reserve a lot of the big gifts for actually Christmas Day, and then they're like the smaller, bit more personal gifts will be 12th night and Russian Christmas.
So those are our kind of wintry holiday traditions that she and I commonly do. If you do anything else, we'd be happy to hear about your traditions, because I think I can speak for Tabby and I as well, that we find, cultural holidays and stuff fascinating and fun. And so, if you do anything that's related to your culture this time of year, please post it down below, because we'd love to hear about it.
Yes, we would.
So, with that, we'll bid you adieu, and till next time.
Till next time, have a very good Yule.
Yes. Bye-bye.